Guys, I'm going to be very, very honest. There's something intrinsically wrong at Barcelona. There is some kind of curse at my club. There's something not right with Barcelona's mentality in the Champions League. And this has now been a problem for almost 8 years. I can literally go back all the way to 2018. Since then, it's been embarrassment after embarrassment after embarrassment after embarrassment. And this is a big problem. I don't understand, right? How a club of our stature, right? We've won multiple Champions Leagues. We're one of the best teams in Europe. We have a European history, right? But for some reason, we have such a big problem to making our league form into the Champions League. I've seen us play some of the most exquisite performances in the league, in La Liga. I've seen us be unstoppable in La Liga. But I'm telling you guys, the moment that Champions League theme song hits, it's like something just breaks in these players' heads. And you know what's funny, right? Yesterday's performance against PSG, it wasn't necessarily even the defeat that hurt. It was really going back and watching the game again, because I had to go back and I had to watch. And do you know what really at the end pissed me off? It wasn't the loss itself. It's the performance. It's the way we came into this game. The way we approached this game from the start of the game. There was no urgency. Zero urgency from this team. There was no movement. There was no energy. There was no, how do I put it? There was no willingness to push yourself, to actually show that you mean business. Last season, when we approached the Champions League, I never expected us to win the Champions League. But when I saw the performances after the Monaco defeat, when I saw us batter Bayern Munich in the Champions League, when I saw us win every single game, comebacks against teams like Benfica, right? Battering teams, beating teams like Dortmund, winning every single game since their opening game all the way to our final game against Atalanta, which we drew. That gave me a slither of hope. I said, you know what? It's very rare for me to see Barcelona perform like this. Maybe this could be our year. But do you really know when I started to have doubts? It wasn't the Inter Milan game. No. It was the Dortmund game in the quarterfinals. When we beat Dortmund 4-0 and we went to the Signal Iduna Park to the second leg. The pathetic performance I witnessed in that game. How we approached the game thinking 4-0 in the bag, let's just chill. And we almost bottled a 4-0 lead. In the end, the only reason we didn't lose the game is because Ben Sabayini actually scored an own goal, which ended up killing their confidence. If it wasn't for that, they would have probably won that game. And we would have been at the back end of yet another comeback. And this is what I want to talk about. What is wrong with these players? Why is it that for some reason Barcelona players always approach the Champions League against certain teams, whether we are coming into the games with a lead, a big advantage, or we're playing against a team that is completely depleted with injuries, suspensions, and basically not having their best squad? We always come to these games and we approach it like, we are the better team, squad for squad, we're better, player for player, we're better, they don't have their best team, or we have a great lead, there's absolutely no way we're going to battle this. Like, this is ridiculous. Let's go all the way back to 2018. 2018, we played against Roma. We had a 4-1 lead. We went to the Stadio Olimpico. Guess what we did? We just went in there and we're like, alright, let's not even try and score, man. Why do we even need to waste our time? Listen, we are undefeated in La Liga right now. Let's focus on La Liga. This tie is over. And guess what happened? We lost 3-0. We lost 3-0. We did not even lose a single game in the Champions League that season until that game against Roma. Why? Because mentally these guys had already checked out. Because they thought they were already in the semi-finals. And then guess what? The year later, same shit happens. We play against Liverpool, a Liverpool team that dominated us. We still won the game 3-0. We took them seriously in the first leg. And in the second leg, when we realized, oh, Salah is not playing, oh, Firmino is not playing, two of their best players, don't worry about it. They're going to pack the bus. Origi and what's his name? Wijnaldum? Origi and Shaqiri and Mane in the attack? Champions League final, here we come. We're going to play either Ajax or Spurs. We're going to win our next Champions League. Guess what? We lost the game 4-0. And what happened against Bayern Munich the year after that in 2020? We went into that game already accepting that we lost. We looked at that Bayern Munich team thinking, how are we going to compete with that team? And they battered us. What happened against PSG in 2021? We bottled it in the opening game. In the first leg. 4-1. We got knocked out of the group stages in 2021. We got knocked out of the group stages in 2022. We were knocked out in 2024 against PSG when we had a 3-2 lead coming into the Montjuic. And we still lost the tie. And then last season, we were 90 seconds away from a Champions League final and we still managed to fuck it up. I don't know what is wrong with this team. This is why, guys, right? Every time the season starts, you guys always see me talk about the league. You barely ever hear me mention the Champions League. It's because this is something I've always known about my club, right? I can never trust this club. And this is the thing, it's not just me that's saying this. A lot of Barca fans know the same thing I'm saying is true. No one now believes in you. You guys have shown us that it's one team in La Liga and a whole different team in the Champions League. For some reason in the Champions League, you guys can't bring your league form in the Champions League ever. You guys would come in, you would throw a hook at us, give us something to believe in, just so that to rot the carpet under our feet. Every single year. And I'm telling you right now, that game yesterday, it was no different. We walked into that game against PSG, right? We looked at our PSG team, no Dembele, no Kvaratskhelia, no Doué, no Marquinhos, John Navish out. Everyone, basically, even the players that played yesterday, like Rafinha and Fabian Ruiz, were just coming back from injury. They were barely fit. We thought, oh man, it's fine. Apart from we lost Rafinha and João Garcia, it doesn't matter. We have Yamal. That's how we walked into the game. There was no urgency in the performance. And PSG, the moment they realized that our defense was gettable, that second half, it was all them. They were like, nah, forget about Dembele, forget about Kvaratskhelia, forget about Doué. We don't need those guys. We got Mayulu and Barcola in attack. They will do the job. And you know what? They did the job. They came to our stadium not to lose, not to draw. Nah, these guys came to win. And you know what? That is the difference between Barca right now and PSG. This is why they are Champions League winners. Because they could have easily accepted that, you know what, we are injury plagued. We don't wanna overdo it. We can just lose this game. It's not the end of the world. We can still come back and still go on to win the Champions League and retain our title. No! They were like, no, screw all of that. We're going to the Montjuic to win. It's pathetic. And until this mentality changes, I cannot trust this team. I'm sorry. I will always support my club. And I will always try to back them. But I'm being dead serious. We could go on to win every single game from now all the way to the end of the group stages of the Champions League. I don't trust this team to do it in the knockouts. Because they've shown me whether it's a 1-goal lead or a 5-goal lead. If they are in a position of comfortableness, that is it. Their mentalities, they leave their mentality out the window before they even kick off. And this is ridiculous. Because this is not even a flick issue. We've had this problem with Quique Setien, Valverde, Xavi, and Koeman. Funny enough, the last time we actually had a manager who actually instilled some good mentality in this team was Enrique. Because the last time we actually showed mentality in the Champions League was, funny enough, when Enrique managed us against PSG in 2017. When we came into the second leg with a 4-0 deficit and still went on to win. That's the difference. But here we are. Now we are the laughing stock. And at this point, I don't believe this team in the Champions League. In the league, it's a different story. we will still dominate in the league. But Champions League, forget about it. It's done. We are not winning the Champions League. I'm sorry, guys. You can say whatever you want, but we can't trust this team. Because whenever Barcelona are at their peak and you think this is their year, they will have that one moment, that one game when you think it's easy pickings and they make it more difficult than it needs to be. So it is what it is, guys. Until that changes, nothing is going to change at this team. But let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And peace. Take care.